Hello, it's Burgess Taylor. I checked and I had 11 people who commented on my giveaway video, and I did the names, wrote them out, cut them up. I got a little tiny clip of that, and then I put them in my hat, and I let Mr. Rockstar choose, and I filmed it with my camera, so it would be fair. And then I showed the little thing, so we're going to add that in right now. I need you to swirl them around and draw one. That's it.
I got to draw it.
I don't have your face in here, so.
I got to draw it.
You got to draw it.
Okay. Here we go. What's that?
That's just a tag.
Okay. I drew a name.
Now right. Open it up.
Hannah Banana.
Okay. Now pick one more.
Okay. One more.
So this one's for the journal. Whoa.
Whoa. And the Powerball number is...
Malia.
Malia Marie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, if your name is one of the names that he called out, then I need you to message me. My email address is below in the doobly-doo, but you can also, I believe, private message me on YouTube. I don't know if it does notifications for that. I'm pretty sure it does in my email. If not, my email address is burgesstaylor7911@gmail.com. First up, The Artist Way, and it's the actual book. And I also ordered, because I'm just curious and wanted to know, I also ordered the Morning Pages journal. So I did 2 giveaways. You can actually buy these as a set. And the second person is winning the actual Morning Pages journal. It's got some of the same information, but it's got the quotes, the affirmations that you can use as quotes, and it's got information about the Morning Pages. And I thought it was really good. Now, I would actually do this myself, except that I already have a journal for my Morning Pages and have been using it since when I very first started. The only difference between this book and my book, other than my book has highlights in it, is that my book has what I guess is called like a French flap or something. My book has a little flap. It's like a bookmark. You can put it where you're reading at, and this one doesn't. That's the only difference. These came in from Amazon just like they are. I'm going to be mailing them out as soon as I get the addresses. And congratulations to the winners. I know I didn't say anything about the journal, but I kind of wanted it to be a surprise. I thought about going based on the comments, and then I thought, no, there was no way I could be impartial. So I just let Mr. Rockstar draw the name out of the hat. And I'm really excited. So now we're going to talk about week 1 of Artist Way and what I've learned and how that went and my artist date. Last Saturday, I went to Starbucks and got me coffee, and then I went to Michael's, and like I said, I got some of the colored pens, and I'm going to go today or tomorrow. I think I probably need to go tomorrow, especially if I'm going to go to the post office. I'm going to print a Michael's coupon, and I'm going to go do the same thing. I think it's going to be a weekly thing. I'm going to go by Michael's and Dollar Tree, and I'll go by Michael's and I'll buy one item with my coupon, and then I'll go in Dollar Tree. And my Dollar Tree rarely has washi tape, rarely. But they do have really cute stickers and little notebooks and things like that. And I'm about to make some of my own inserts. I have some paper, I have some watercolor paper think it's 140 pound. I'm going to buy, I think, 1 sheet of craft paper, some kind of craft paper. And I need to get a really large needle, a needle with a large, I don't know, it's kind of like an embroidery needle or a, something that you use for thicker stuff. Because I'm going to make my own inserts for my traveler's notebook. I've got enough paper to do it, and I've got the actual twine to do it with, but I don't have a needle that will support doing the holes. I've got to get one of those. And I'm going to check Dollar Tree to see if they have it. If they don't, then I'll either check Michael's while I'm in there, or I'll check Walmart, because they're all like right back together. And I'm going to stop by Starbucks and get myself a coffee. So that's going to be my artist date. So now, without further ado, we're going to talk about what week 1 was like, what I learned. One of the things about week 1 was safety. It's called Recovering a Sense of Safety. And you're supposed to use some of your blurts that you have in your morning pages, that you talk about anything that's negative in your morning pages, and you're supposed to turn those into positive things. Like I said, I am genuinely talented. I have what it takes to be a published author. I am a writer. I am special, smart, and worth the effort. I deserve respect. I am competent and confident. And then you're supposed to talk about a little bit like where research, like go back in time and talk about where some of those blurts originally came from. I started thinking about it because you go back in 5-year increments. When I was in elementary school, I was a book nerd. Even back then, before being a book nerd was a popular. I was in elementary school in the 70s. I was in 5th grade in 1977, if that tells you anything. I was smart. I was a bit of a loner after 7, because that's when my father died, and I went from being a precocious, outgoing, extroverted child to being an introverted child. So I am a combination. I'm kind of an introverted extrovert. Once you get to know me, I'm a chatterbox. But when I don't know you, or I'm not comfortable, I'm quiet, reserved. I'm actually a bit shy around new people. I was bullied. I was picked on. I was made fun of. I loved to draw and I loved to write. I was an avid reader. I don't remember when I wasn't reading. I learned how to read at like the age of 3 or 4. Simple books. So by the time I was like in the 2nd or 3rd grade, I was reading at like a 5th or a 6th grade reading level. By the time I was 10, I was reading adult books. I was reading Hemingway, and I was reading Stephen King, and I wasn't quite up for Shakespeare quite yet, but I read poetry, anything and everything. My mom was a member of Doubleday Book Club back then, so my mom got books in the mail like every month, and I would go through and read, and I would sneak and read her little Harlequin romance books. But I was made fun of for being nerdy. I was told that my art was horrible, my little drawings. I was told that, I sucked. My cousins also made fun of me for being nerdy, for being what they call artsy fartsy. That's part of the reason I think that I felt like so self-conscious and so insecure about any kind of artistic thing, any kind of creative thing, was because it made me stand out made me different from the norm at that time. A lot of my cousins were more into sports and were more into playing. And I played outside. I rode my bike. But you know what I did? I take my bike, have a little basket, take my book, take a snack, take my little drink, and I would ride around for quite a while. And then when it got time for like a snack, a lunch, or whatever, I would find there was this one tree, and I would go park my bike by the tree and sit my jacket down, and I would sit on on the ground, and I would sit on my jacket, get my book out, and read and eat my snack while I read, and I would sit out there for hours reading outside under that tree. But I had friends and family members, classmates, even some aunts and uncles who kind of made fun of that. What's ironic is that there are quite a few members of my family on all the sides who are creative themselves. I had an aunt who knitted and crocheted. She quilted. I have uncles that sing and play the guitar. I have another uncle on my father's side who sang and played the guitar. One of my aunts is extremely good with do-it-yourself projects and crafty stuff like that. And one of my other uncles on my father's side, he built houses for a living. He was a carpenter. He's very talented at it. So I think it felt as though people deem creative pursuits, especially a creative type job, as frivolous, as unimportant, as less important, or as less serious, as less real. I made my affirmation about that as I am allowed to nurture my artist. I wrote my morning pages every day. There were times when it took me about 10 or 15 minutes to actually get coherent enough to write. The more I wrote after the first few days, the deeper I delved under the surface of things. Now, this morning's wasn't like that. This morning, I'm still kind of recovering from being sick, still not up to par yet. I vented this morning. I did have my artist date, but I wanted to do another one this week because Friday is my check-in day because I started on a Friday. So today is the actual first day of the second week for me. Like I said, I wanted to do another one on anywhere between Tuesday and Thursday, and I wasn't able to because I was so sick. Going out to Michael's and then to Dollar Tree and Starbucks, I think I spent $10 altogether. But I felt good after having that time out of the house and away and doing something for myself, creatively speaking, like artistic, going to get a supply. I cleaned off the dresser in here. I'm going to insert a picture. I cleaned off the top of it and organized it for my art stuff. And I've been organizing the books. I've got a picture of my desk. I am a creative clutter in the midst of working, especially. I'm a messy desk. I even did a blog post about this yesterday about a messy desk or creative clutter. And Einstein said, I thought that was kind of cute though. But so I organized my art supplies, which was something I did for myself. And the next step, once I'm feeling better, is to empty out all the drawers and to get some. I've got big Ziploc bags, and I'm going to start organizing my bits and pieces of ephemera, my stickers, my craft paper, all that kind of stuff, and I'm going to put them in the drawers. All the clothes that are in that drawer, there's not very many, half of the drawers are clothes, but the stuff that's in there that's not art stuff, or it's going out. I'm purging. Thank you, Maya. I'm getting rid of some stuff because one, I have some stuff that I'm never going to wear again. For 25 years or more plus, I should say 25 plus years, I worked in what you'd call finance or banking. I was a manager for a finance company. I was a bank teller. I was a head bank teller. I did customer service. I did accounting. I was like an assistant head bookkeeper. And that's not my thing, but I did that for years, for 27, to support myself and my kids. Now that I don't have to do that anymore, I was laid off 6 years ago. And after I was laid off, I took a break for a little bit, and then I bartended for a while, and that was a lot of fun. I needed something different. I've also worked construction. I worked construction with my dad for about a year and a half. Sometimes I need a break mentally from those kinds of things, so I do something physical, like a very physical job, like construction. My dad's a superintendent, and I drove heavy equipment. I drove triaxles and all kinds of off-road dump trucks, and I had a blast. It was a lot of fun, but you have to really layer in the wintertime, and it's hot as hell in the summertime. But those were things that I kind of just needed to do for me. So I understand the artist date. Sometimes you need to get outside yourself and do something completely different. But the biggest issue that I've found so far is not knowing kind of what to do, like what's right, the blank page, or where I'm going with this, or if it's working. I'm overthinking things. It's the thinking thing. And this is what she talks about, the right brain and the left brain, the logic brain and the art brain kind of thing. The moment that I actually start writing, once I get down that first few words, the fear is gone. And now, the first few days, the fear was kind of still there. Now I don't have that fear when I'm looking at the blank page to do my morning pages. I just start writing. In the very beginning, about the first 2 or 3 days, I still had the fear until about halfway through the morning pages. That is what I've covered for the first part of week 1. I realized that I sabotage myself. I really do. And that's what week 2 is a lot about sabotaging yourself. It's about poisonous people in your life, or poisonous things that cause you to self-sabotage. It's a lot of that. And I think part of why I have been stunted creatively, let me get back to this part, is that I haven't trusted myself creatively. Maybe it's because of stuff from when I was young and being told that being different's a bad thing, and that artistic kind of jobs like being a writer or a musician or an artist or any of those things aren't real jobs. You need to go out and get a real job. That mentality, it's hard to get rid of that subconsciously. It's in your head. You've been programmed with it. But one of the things I started reading week 2 stuff, and this is what I wrote down because I want to remember this during this upcoming time. Creativity flourishes when we have a sense of safety and self-acceptance. Be particularly alert to any suggestion that you have become selfish or different. I've been told that. You're different now. Now that you started writing and stuff like that, the art journaling, all that stuff, you're different. In some ways, I've been told that I'm different in positive ways, very positive ways. But in other ways, I've been told that I'm different, or that I'm being kind of selfish. And it kind of, it's sort of a doing this when you have people who are being very supportive, and they're telling you, and their actions show it most of the time as well, that they're glad that you're finally doing this, or that you've had this in you all along and they've known it. They're so glad that you're finally pursuing it, that you're pursuing your dream. They're very supportive and understanding. And then the next, when you're doing this again, then it's, well, you're not working, so can you do? You don't have a real job. Can you? I've realized over the past couple of weeks that although I've wavered on and off about taking myself and my writing seriously, at my creative pursuits seriously, and that I have felt myself guilty and selfish for pursuing those things, for pursuing my dream. I have felt guilty and selfish, and like I should be doing more for everybody else. I am at heart a people pleaser, and it's been very hard for me this past year or more trying to get into the swing of things with, I miss working. I miss working outside of the home. I think anytime you work inside of the home, people don't take it as seriously, because you're not out at your job physically. You can go do whatever it is. I mean, they can't do it because they're at their job, but you can do it. And I think when it comes to some things, there are priorities that are a little bit more important than other things. Like if my grandson got sick at daycare or something, that's a priority. But me doing other things that aren't, to me, emergency things are different. But if I were a writer who was making money writing books, and I can't get to that point if I don't actually get the books written, or if I had a writing cave, or if I went somewhere else and went and wrote, then it would be more like a real job, and people would take it more seriously. And sketched out for my friend the bookcase stuff that I want. And my husband said, but baby, when we get you a writing cave, what are you going to do? And I said, well, the one thing I want, it needs to be able to be taken apart. I said, the other thing, once you take the books out of it, I'm going to get what is a horizontal bookshelf. It'll probably be right where the end of those things are up there. So it's going to be about 3.5, almost 4 feet tall, and it's going to go across that whole wall. And then on each side of my desk, my red desk, that needs to be repainted because I never put the lacquer on it. My red bookcases are cheap, inexpensive bookcases that came from Walmart, and I painted them. Well, the bottom one is broken. If I were to move anything, it would fall. We're going to build 2 bookshelves that go from floor to ceiling, and then have a shelf in the middle with cut doors for storage for my journals that I've already written in. Stuff I'm not really going to use because I'm 5'2" and I'm not going to be able to reach in those bad boys without the step ladder. So things I am not going to be using are going up there, but it's going to be for storage because you need to go vertical when you have a smaller space. When we have a smaller home, it's a cute, adorable little house, but it's a smaller one. So I'm going vertical. And that way when I do get my own, my space outside of being inside the house, when I get my writer's cave, I will put those in there, and then on the one free wall, I'm going to go somewhere and get the shelving that you can put little baskets in for like storage, maybe IKEA or somewhere, and I'm going to, or I'll have some more built, and I'm going to use that stuff for my craft stuff, and that'll be that. I'll have perfect. I'll have a chair in there, my reading chair. So I'm taking myself seriously though. I'm making plans to do things that are more for me. The bookcases are going to be my birthday / anniversary present. I'm really excited because I'm going to get them done and probably pine or something, but I'm going to paint them red. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to probably do colored walls in my writing cave, but I like the purple and the red, the bold, but I'm not sure. I may change my mind when I get the writing cave. But for now, I think it really works well for me because the purple is kind of a passionate but soothing kind of color. And the red is a passionate but is motivating, inspiring kind of color. So they kind of work pretty well for me. They probably wouldn't work very well at all for other people. Other people would probably want more calm, tones or neutrals. And I'm just not a neutral kind of person. Just not a neutral kind of person. So congratulations again to the winners. I'm off to week 2 for recovering a sense of identity, self-definition, and I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.